remind you as we get ready to talk about another option in the world of roses that you can see it kind of behind me right now, but I wanted to remind you, the hydrangea tree, already a huge hit. We don't have a lot to go around. Coming up in a little bit, called the Quick Fire for a very important reason. And if you didn't watch the preview, I'll share again that important reason when we get to the presentation. But now the English garden, without going across the pond and without having to yell at those gardeners, "You're painting my roses red, off with your head," right? We've got all the stress-free gardening here thanks to this one-piece Fiesta Veranda rose. It's new today and on sale. So this one is under $24. Here's what we love. Again, easy, 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 but we're gonna get roses as early as spring and they're gonna last all the way into the fall season.
Oh, I love this rose. Look at the beautiful, it's like a sunset, a tropical sunset. The colors on this rose are stunning. We call it Fiesta. It's like a party, and it really is.
Where's the margarita?
As Amy said, it is one of those English roses, which I think a lot of people have a misconception that roses are really hard to care for. Because they used to be. You know, old-fashioned roses had a lot of diseases. You would have to go and hand-pick your beetles off if you were like my grandmother. But you loved your roses. You were dedicated to them. A lot of us don't have time for that. I like myself included, but I love roses. They were one of the first plants that I was introduced to as a young child. We had a lot of roses. And so I love them, but I do not have time to go hand pick some beetles off of them. So this is going to be for you one of those beautiful old-fashioned looking roses, but without all the fuss. So it's disease resistant. Still a little light fragrance though, because a lot of times they breed that out of disease resistant roses. So you're getting a beautiful color, disease resistant, so no mold, mildew, no repelling the bugs, and more compact. So you saw in some of those pictures, but some of our old-fashioned roses, they're long stem, really tall. Maybe you get 12, maybe you get a dozen roses. This is going to be loaded. Oh, look at that shrub. Absolutely loaded with flowers, and it gets to be about 3 to 4 feet tall.
Now, I noticed you have, again, put this in a container. I see here in the picture, it's in the ground. What do you prefer, or is it just tomato, tomato?
So I actually usually like my roses, a lot of our other roses that we bring in the ground, but this is different than those because it's more compact. So those roses get to be a little taller. If you're looking for a container rose, it can go in the ground for sure. But if you're looking for a container rose, this is the one for you. Maybe you did have a rose garden, you know, back in the day, or maybe you've always wanted the rose garden, but you didn't have the time for it. This is the rose that it will grow beautifully in a container because you'll still get all the flowers. It's not going to restrict or contain its growth. It's going to still produce as many flowers as it's supposed to, which is 100 blooms.
Well, and I'm sure everybody's asking the same question in their minds right now. Can we cut them down? Can we make a rose bouquet when someone's having a party and they ask us to bring an appetizer, but we also bring them a beautiful bouquet to say that we love you? Oh, I love it. And look at that color. I mean, this is incredible. I see white roses in the garden center. I see pink and I see red. I do not see Fiesta. And this with that grass green color in your yard, this with like the stonework that they use on patios or the decking colors that you have on a deck. I mean, it just, that contrast of the Fiesta orange with anything neutral behind it, gorgeous.
Beautiful. I love how it pops too. And you know, you said red is such a common color, pink is such a common color in roses, but you'll be really hard pressed to find this Fiesta, this like sunset color in your garden center. Plus, I know it's always hard for people to know. You're gonna bend down and look at the tag. Oh wait, is that a compact one? Not that one. Let me move to the next one. Is that one compact? No, not that one. So we're helping you figure out how to design your garden. Now, I do think that if you want this in a container, 2 would be great, but roses love full sun. So that's the really big tip here, is that this, to get the most flowers out of this, you need 2 things. A fertilizer, which we have at our planting demo, and full sun.
Well, here, let's do that planting demo. While we walk over, I'll remind everybody we're incredibly busy and we don't have a lot to go around. You know, we've got millions of households who watch QVC. We've got thousands of customers in particular who love our garden center. But then when things sell out, we often cannot get them back in for the season. We just have a few more weeks of presenting our plants and our flowers and our trees, and then it's all done. So if you are looking for that orange color, if you are looking for more blooms, you want to get on the phone lines now. And if you want more than one, like Katie suggested, use that sale price that we have today of under $24. Free shipping with Cottage Farms, and I love the $8 Easy Pay, because then maybe 2, 3, 4 plants can come home using that Easy Pay. And it's simple to grow.
Simple to grow. So yes, the fertilizer is for Cottage Farms fertilizers. This is the rose one. We have an all-purpose one. You can grab 1 little pod per 1 gallon of water. Could not be easier. No mess, no fuss. As far as a bare root rose, the beautiful thing about us shipping you bare root, that means you will have roses in 60 to 90 days.
Okay, and this is like wrapped up in a box.
Yes.
It's not like this gets delivered on your front step like this.
Yep, and so you'll see there is some soil down on the roots. So there's some soil down here. You want to, again, kind of like what we just saw with the hibiscus, you want to plant it where the discoloration, green, brown, plant it up to there. And it is just super easy. You know, this is nice potting soil, but dig a nice wide hole and plant it back because, you know, you guys got this. I'm not going to dig it as deep. And then you water it in, but don't fertilize it until it starts to see new growth. You want to grab your fertilizer because that will get those blooms, those gorgeous blooms, but don't fertilize it until you see new growth.
And remind me, when do we get the Fiesta in our backyard? When do those blooms start to appear?
Within, the bare root is the fastest. Within 60 to 90 days, you'll have flowers.
Oh my gosh, let's have a rose party. All right, stay on the phone lines for that, M89446. Again, kind of like a little sentence that I have memorized. Don't forget, you can always order anything off of .com as well. That is how I do my QVC shopping, QVC.com. So before we get to that hydrangea tree, the quick fire, new today, we're going back to tropicals. And again, that doesn't mean you change the channel.